Okay, we deal with the text and text analytics. Now let us see. I have a data set with restaurant, with the name restaurant. Okay, I have a data set with the name restaurant. There are some reviews for each and by which was given by each and every customer for the restaurant. So we are trying to understand. We are trying to understand those reviews, and we will define how exactly the response is. So this is the target when we are using this particular data set. So here, while doing this text analytics, before we are going to talk about this particular natural language processing, we need to definitely require to discuss couple of more things, okay, about the natural language processing. In general, let us think of our layman style about the natural language processing. What do you mean by natural language processing? That is nothing but a natural language processing which relies on the local language, whatever the language it is. Here, while we are not working with any other local language, we are completely relying on the English language. So completely we will be, see here when we are processing this, we have to work with the language whatever it is we are working on currently. Why? Because if you can understand, Google Translator can translate any language into any language in the entire world. But how it is doing that? With the middle components, something called an English. It can translate from Telugu to English, and it can translate from English to Hindi. Hence, you could be able to make a translation from Telugu to Hindi. See, individual language objects are completely different. That may be whatever the language it is, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, or whatever it is. Definitely, the sort of reviews we are required to pick up. Why? Because in our mostly in some of the web portals, we would observe couple of reviews are written in the local languages. Definitely here we are unable to pick them up in the local language. Okay, we will be picking up with the only the reviews or the comments made in the regular English language. If at all, if they are written, if we think that if they are written in the local language, we need to convert them into the English, and then we need to pick up them. So hence, an understanding about what sort of language it was being used within the entire data, and then how we are performing this natural language processing, understanding about that is very much necessary. Okay, so of course, anyhow, this is all for our subject understanding, like generally a business understanding or the requirement understanding. Okay, now let us think about the current topic where we are completely relying on the English language. Okay, so the natural language processing, in this natural language processing, we will be having some sort of words called a stop words. Okay, why? Because when we are processing a language, first of all, the system or the library should know the language about. Understand? So large amount of words, large amount of reviews needs to be processed. We know how the Cambridge Analytica has taken its front step in order to do the analytics of entire text analytics of the Facebook reviews or the posts and all stuff, to understand the locations where the or which party has the more support in a USA. And based upon that, they have understood a party's strongness in a one particular location based upon their comments or the posts. So this is having a lot of requirement of doing the text analytics and understanding about the and making the sentiment analysis and all stuff will require this kind of stuff in a very important way. Understand? So there are a couple of challenges with the natural language processing which will be used in order to work with is the speech recognition, natural language understanding, and natural language generation. Okay, when you can generate a language, you can recognize a speech or a talk, you can process the language. Okay, so all of this one we use to process within the large amount of data whatever that we are going to pick up here. Okay, so here in the natural language processing we used to hear some couple of technical words called stemming. Stemming, here we are also do the stemming with the help of the Porter stemmer. Porter stemmer is the one which we will try to import from the NLTK. NLTK is the package that we are going to use for natural language toolkit, which we are trying to use it for the Python programming language in our environment. So we are going to use this one and we are trying to hand code the entire stuff. Okay, and we will try to process the grammatical mistakes and also different rules based upon using this stemming. Okay, there will be some sort of stop words where we will try to understand where exactly the sentence is going to get stopped, and I mean like based upon the words that we are trying to pick up. Okay, so this natural language processing has been got a much more significance in the year 1990s around. Hence the Google has been completely relied on this particular natural language processing. Okay, so this is what all about that we understand about this one. See, here we rely on this particular package called NLTK, which we require. Okay, so when we are working with this one, you need to definitely understand what exactly that do you mean by stemming, and why? Because that is nothing but a grammatical understanding about the natural language, and also lemmatization, which involves in understanding about the base dictionary words. Okay, all these things and also understanding the part of speech, verbs, nouns, all these things needs to be understood. And whatever the statement or sentiment, whatever the statement or sentence it is going to be generated within a new review needs to be grabbed and needs to be, you know, filtered by using the parsing kind of techniques. Okay, and coming to the stemming, we will make the word segmentation. We will segment the different words. Okay, and also the terminology what that we are trying to use, we need to extract the real terminology and we need to understand the semantics of the language. Okay, and then we need to transform that into the machine language kind of stuff. So all these things that we are trying to understand as a basics that before we are going to execute this program today. So most of the time what we will try to do, we will try to understand the sentiment analysis based upon this one, and the word sense, I mean what exactly the sense of understanding that we are going to take it from using this particular NLTK package. Okay, so let us go ahead and understand or work on this particular stuff. Let me just cross check if there is a NLTK that I can work on. Why? Because I have not installed this particular package. Okay, so maybe it may hit an error. Let me see. Let me see this one. So this is the file where you are containing, there is a lot of, words and reviews that has been, okay, you can see that a lot of things are there inside. Okay, it is having it, no issues. Let me just download this part. See, there will be something called the stop words. Okay, you can always try downloading that particular stop words. You can see, I will just try to show you the listing of that stop words. Whenever you click on this one, stop word list for text mining or NLP, NLTK. Okay, fine, good. So see, these are all the different words, like more and more words, even that we can consider them as a stop words. Okay, who, as, is, and, yes, have, did, not, all these things are stop words. Okay, so now let us see. I have just downloaded the stop words, and I just wanted to import these stop words. I have done. There is something called the portal stemmer. Portal stemmer is the one the function that we require to import. Okay, and here we have implemented the for loop. Okay, for loop for the range of 0 to 1000. And here we are trying to see, this is, see, whenever we are working with the natural language processing, definitely that you will never end up programming the natural language processing without a for loop inside. Okay, so definitely the for loop is going to be implemented here. Okay, but before, see, this is a data or content segmentation, okay, is very much required before you are going to apply the proper function on this particular stuff. Understand? See, obviously that you are going to work on this naive Bayes, Gaussian, whatever it is. Okay, why? Because we require the text classification, right or wrong? Ultimately you are relying on the machine learning algorithm. That's a different issue. But before you are going to do that one, you need to make some sort of separation in the NLP. So that relies over here. So here you can clearly understand the review is equal, review is my variable name, and is equal to sum of, you are trying to use A to Z, and A to Z, which is the capitals or the lowercase, for the data set, so called review of I. So whenever I am just trying to execute, sorry, I is not defined. Okay, let me just execute till here. Okay, done. So you can see that then, as if I had wasted enough of my life, they poured salt in the wound by trying out the time it took to bring the check, something like this. It was reviewed. It was done only for the very sub, and then it needs to be. See, you can observe there are a couple of uppercase and all stuff. Okay, now I just wanted to reconsider this part. You could clearly observe all the entire statement has been converted into the lower case, right? Understand this one or not? Hmm? And you can clearly observe, when I thought of reading using pandas, I am trying to read the file. Okay, using pandas I am trying to read the file, and you can clearly observe that the delimiter that I have used is a tab. Wherever that I find a tab, I just wanted to split that into a sentence. Okay, and here I have downloaded the stopwords and all stuff. That's a very regular thing. Okay, this needs to be done for each and everything that I'm talking about. Okay, for each iteration. But I'm showing you all these things for the first iteration. Let me just show you restaurants review. Where exactly it was picked. This is the split. Then we are going to work on this part now. And now once after the split, let us try reviewing the same thing again. See, now we have split that entire sentence into an individual items. Okay, then as if I hadn't wasted enough of my life there, they poured salt in the wound by drawing out the time it took to bring the chuck. It has been completely split into an individual items of the words. And now we are trying to do the Porter stemming by using the Porter stemmer stemming using the Porter stemmer. The function is going to be used. So the review is going to the ps dot stem of a word in review. In the corpus, I have just added whatever that I have processed right now. And now what based upon this one, it is going to make this one for the entire, until and unless it reaches the 1000 reviews, like 1000 iterations over here. So here we are trying to make all these bag of words count vectorization. We are trying to fit underscore transform of corpus, whatever that a variable that we have created a step before. We are using something called the count vectorizer. Okay, so we can try extracting the text from whatever the entire statements that we do have. And now we can see the x value and the y value. See, let me show you. Is not defined. So let me use this count vectorizer. Pip install count vectorizer. I'm trying to install this package where I don't have this package inside already. I did not understand the package. Okay, let me try install. Okay. So I'm trying to update the NLTK package in the Anaconda one more time by using this particular stuff, so called conda install -c anaconda nldk. Why? Because I'm using the anaconda prompt. Okay, let me do one more thing. Let me start this one as a run as administrator. Means like it might have executed in the background. You could see the array type, how it was split across. And here is the y. This is all, we are trying to make an implementation of the bag of words model. And now I'm splitting the data set into the training set and the test set. We have got an error. While doing the validation, let us see what exactly it is. This module will be removed. Okay, fine. This is quite good. Let me just cross check this one. Let me fix this one. Just give me a moment. I will fix this one. Guys, if you might have set up the same environment, can you please try executing the same program in your environment? Why? Because we have successfully executed this program earlier. Okay, there is no doubt about it. Okay, why? Because this is a newly installed system which I'm using currently now. Just a couple of days ago, I have installed all the required packages one more time. Not a big deal. If you have already set up this environment, if you want to test it, and you can test this program in your environment. Meanwhile, I will cross check where exactly that we are going wrong, because of course this is holding a lot of values inside, but still it has to be able to split. Why? Because it is not able to index actually. That is. We'll check it out with the proper arrays, like how it is going ahead and all stuff. We'll work on this one, guys. Okay, I will just try to solve this part by tomorrow. Why? Because once we do split the data into the training data and the testing data, we can directly use this part. Even though without training data and testing data, we can go ahead, not an issue. Okay, if in case we are unable to do this one, then we will look after that. Okay. See, it means like what I mean, what do I mean? If at all, if I just don't want this, for now I can show you, okay, without using this x underscore train and y underscore train, by using the full length data itself. See, I tried applying that part. So, but still it is not able to hook up with the values, the kind of values it has hold by the x and y. How come? It is showing that inconsistent number of samples. It should hold actually. Okay, we'll sort this out. Okay, we'll come up with the cleaning of this particular thing, and we will just discuss the same in tomorrow's session. Okay. Okay, all of you. I will check it out and I will fix this one, and we will continue tomorrow. Okay, see you all tomorrow.